Well, it's been a while since Fish Guy did a Fish Guy video. Hi guys, how's life? And it's not that I gave up trying. That's not it at all. It's that I gave up caring about what you guys thought. That's why I quit making the videos. When I started making these videos, it truly was because I wasn't sure if I was okay. The fact I was making self-help videos was the clue I wasn't okay. But I'd spent so much time and effort on, some money, but I never had a lot of that, so I tried my best to find the help that I needed. Now you see a guy looking for a cigarette. We'll find him. Anyways, as the story goes, I started making these videos because I was tired of asking people for help when they didn't care. It's not that they really didn't care, it's that they couldn't care. And it's that the nature of life had them stuck doing what they had to do, and I was stuck doing what I had to do, and somehow the odd combination of what we had to do added up with them not wanting to hear what I had to say. So what I had to do was acknowledge that the only reason I was doing anything was out of fear. It was the fear of losing my family, the fear of disappointing my parents, the fear of, dying alone cold. I think that's the natural one. But all that abnormal stuff over the years started triggering some natural reactions to threat. So, my PTSD diagnosis caught me off guard. Part of this video, or maybe the next, I don't know, I can go through it, but I hate talking about it. Number one, I'm proud. I'm really, really, really proud that I lived through the events I lived through, and I did the things that I did. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to help everybody, but I know I helped some, and that confidence is what gives me hope. So when my anxiety and my emotions start messing with my ability to remember things, or to sleep, or eat, and you go a couple, 2-3 days and you realize you haven't been eating or drinking, and you're not on drugs, you can smoke weed, you don't get stoned, you don't want to get drunk, because you lose control and you're hell-bent on controlling the situation around you. So you're allowed to have a drink or two, but you're not allowed to get drunk. You're allowed to take a break, but only after you got your work done. And you're not allowed to show any weakness because everybody around you is out to get you. And for some people, that's never been true. For some people, that has been true at times. For some people, that might be true now. You might be in a toxic living situation with some hyper-manipulative individuals, whether they're parents or spouses or bosses or coworkers or whatever, and you might be in a toxic working or living situation, and you might actually be feeling the stress associated with humans. I don't like peoples. They tend to people. And I'm not sure if having a toxic working or living or relationship by itself qualifies anybody for PTSD, but I will acknowledge that when you're in those relationships, there are events that occur that'll change the way you look at life forever. And as soon as you realize that nobody else looks at life the way you do, you were on the right path. You're not ever going to be able to explain the perceived threats that you are fearing and feeling as a survivor of stress. So, post-traumatic stress disorder is exactly that. It's a disorder of the stress reactions associated with life. So there are normal stressors, there are normal triggers, there are assholes in life. Life's not always fair. Often you're going to be treated like shit. And most of the time that's legal. Most of the time that's legal. And when it's not legal, nobody cares. Sometimes you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to run, or you're going to have to sit through it and wait for shit to clear. And the longer or more often you're stuck in those situations, the harder it is for your brain to process the stimuli of stress and correlate with the threat of stress. Because living in a toxic situation in itself might be healthier than alternate toxic situations. But at a certain point, staying there is just as lethal as suicide. So you'll see self-medication, you'll see workaholics, gambling, all kinds of distracting activities, the gym, church, peopling, right? And they will use their gifts, which often include what's at their fingertips, right? So if you're in the west coast of California, it's easier to find heroin than it is to find a Baptist woman who cares. Just saying. Like, it's different for everybody in different places because of the way everybody reacts to stress. And it's never better, it's never worse, it's yours. So I've enjoyed making this video so far because I can kind of see my strength. I can see how I've grown in the last 10 years and the positive benefits or fruit or whatever, I don't know, the results of not doing stupid shit, despite not doing everything right, and some stupid shit. So there's a lot of humility that I'm offering myself today and my audience, because learning that you're going to keep making mistakes because you're trying hard, maybe harder than those around you, and offering the grace to those around you because they don't see the world the same way you do. That prevents you from lashing out or thinking nobody cares. So the stinking thinking, the negative thought spirals in which the co-workers or family members or spouses are no longer your ally. And if you've been betrayed by somebody that by all measures of humanity should be loyal, your parents, maybe your country, right? Maybe your employer. But there is a hierarchy of trust that people, men and women, build our lives on. And when that hierarchy is tested and fails, it's really hard to trust anybody at all ever again. So you'll find guys like me who are lovable. Like, I'm a great lover too, but I don't really ask for help, and I won't really receive help well. And I really don't like anybody touching me or loving me or trying to help me. And I don't want to talk about my problems because I'm fine. And if you need something, I've already agreed to do it. So if you're upset I haven't done it yet, I'm used to that also. And when I'm done doing it, at least you won't be upset anymore. But you probably won't say thank you, and you probably won't pay me. But that's okay too, because you asked and I did it. Because I want to be loved. Because I don't want to die alone. And I want my life to matter. And I wouldn't have the mental health that I have today if it wasn't for the decisions I made. And I own my mental health. So when I tell you no, I'm not willing to help you anymore because I don't trust it's going to be in my best interest or the world's. Because if I'm helping you hurt others, I'm going to stop. If I see you hurting others, I'm going to stop it. So I'm your best friend and your worst enemy because I have a mental disposition of justice. And I'm not a cop, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a saint, I'm certainly a sinner. So, good die young. I'm still alive, fucker. Let's get ready to make this world a better place. First, for yourself. I'm saying that to myself in this video. And when I play it back, I'll hear it. But I'm also saying it to you. Because nobody's coming to save you. It's not happening. You're going to have to save yourself, and you're probably going to have to save others. It's probably going to hurt. You're probably going to die trying. That's what you were called to do as a man. So, if that's upsetting, you can cry about it. Maybe you should. But it won't change the responsibility. And when you learn you can actually fight and work while crying, superpower, gentlemen. Don't let your feelings scare you or scare people away from you, but don't pretend you're lovable either. Justin the Fish Guy Philosophies. It's been a while. It's good to be back.